This is Fears to Fathom Home Alone for Windows PC, released in July of 2021 by Rail. Fears to Fathom is an episodic horror game, and this is the first chapter, called Home Alone. They let you play this one for free if you want it. You can just grab it off of Steam. There are other chapters. You can buy them off of Steam in a solo or a bundle package, I believe, and they appear to go for $4 or $5 a chapter. There are currently 4 chapters available that I can find, and each one is basically a small horror vignette. It takes 15 to 20 minutes to play. Or at least, that's how long it takes me to play the first chapter. I haven't gotten to the others. The thing is, right now I'm on the fence as to whether or not I want to try another one. I do like the concept we have here. It's basically a single experience event, or at least that's what the chapter is here. I can certainly admit that other chapters could be longer with more stuff to do. But the way the story unfolds, you're basically recreating a story. Words are going to appear on screen as you progress, and it's you fundamentally experiencing the story as it's being told or read. I think this is a decent enough premise. I like that part. Works fine for me. I guess the thing is, it's not terribly complex or a lengthy narrative, and as a result of getting through this one in about 15 minutes, I'm trying to determine if there's enough value in progressing to the next chapter. This story did feel clever. It was unique enough. It's just short. I mean, if you can get all the chapters for like $20, my brain is trying to calculate how would I feel spending $20 on 4 short experiences that have a low replay value. Once again, I only have this chapter, so maybe the others are different, but right now I am on the fence. Here, you play a teenager alone in a house for the weekend, and basically, a home invader breaks in, and you need to survive. It's just one night, and there's no blood or murder here. But it is certainly tense, and if you lose, you get this shocking sound, and it quickly kicks you back out to the main menu. I can't speak for the other chapters in terms of violence or blood, but we don't have any here. I'm fine with it. It's not really needed here, actually. And I ended up playing this chapter at least twice all the way through. First time, I lost. I got captured. I got kicked to the start screen with a jump, and it was the big scare of the game, I suppose. And it worked well enough for me. The second time I played through, I was doing the same thing, so I knew where I was going to lose. So when that moment appeared, I just turned around, went back into my room, hid under the bed, and waited for the cops to show up. I basically just sort of did the opposite of what I did to fail, and I survived. It's a decent enough horror experience I get. I guess I got a good scare out of this one, but that tension, that fright, it's a very limited moment in time. There are really only a small handful of things you need to do in this game to progress the story, but it's not much. It's like a very small amount of busy work items. You eat a lasagna. You read some text from your mother, you do some homework, and go to bed. These are just little things to just push you into the suspense part of the experience. But as limited as it is, I do like it. I mean, I like the concept, and the subject of a home invader feels like it's actually kind of new. This isn't a slasher breaking in, just some sort of an invader. In that regard, I think it works. I guess the weird part of the chapter for me, this is the one weird thing that I have trouble reconciling, and it's petty. The layout of this house. This map, this house, it just feels like it was thrown together. And as a result, this doesn't feel like a real house to me. It's a weird environment, and knowing that, it just pulls me right out of the narrative. Look at the second floor. At the top of the stairs, turn to the left. We get a long hallway that turns to the right. Then there's this sort of big open up area with nothing here but a door to your room. This is all wasted space. Tons of wasted square footage on the second floor. I don't know why or who would build this. The door should be at the top of the stairs. That's it. This whole hallway area is all wasted space, and it should have been used to expand the size of the bedroom. They build houses a certain way for a reason, to maximize your square footage, and this does not seem to have a reason that I can identify. And if you go in the bedroom, look at it. It's this odd-shaped room. I suppose this would probably normally be broken into 2 rooms. But if this was originally 2 rooms that maybe they merged into one, I still wouldn't expect this absurd wasted space outside the door. I would expect the doors to just be in totally a different place. If it were originally 2 bedrooms, you'd have a very small hallway. You would not have one that is this wide or this long. You would do just enough to get you access to both bedrooms, and you could use all the extra space around the top of the stairs for some sort of storage or a room. I wouldn't expect all this wasted space. I don't know why you would design it like this. It's a complete waste. Also, apparently there's no table for this family to eat food at. There's a countertop downstairs with a dish on it in the kitchen. Now, I don't see this as a place to eat, mind you, because if it were for eating, this counter would have an overhang that you could push a chair under. It's not that type of counter. I know it's bizarre, but my brain's been dissecting this for a few days. If this house were on the market today and had a sale price of, let's just say, $400,000 US, bids would not come in at any higher than maybe 200 tops, because you'd have to spend an additional 100 to 200,000 to gut this house and rebuild it from the inside out. You need to use all the wasted space on the second floor, but also you need to reconnoiter the bottom floor to have enough space for a dining room table. At least enough for a table. I would prefer a dining room, but at least enough for a table. And also, it would be really nice to have in a house at least 1 bathroom on the property. I don't want to have to use the front lawn. I don't think it's legal. There is no bathroom here that I can find. Is that minor for a free game? Yes, it is, sure. But anytime the most basic realism is missing from a game, it does pull me out of the narrative. And you don't want me to get distracted by something as foolish as wondering how this house was able to get permits passed. I mean, it's just weird to have these basic things missing. And really, you don't want players distracted from your scares. You want them engaged enough to want to buy your product. Personally, I would have spent a little extra time just to make sure some of these little things make sense. I mean, you could always interject a couple other things to do related to the bathroom or the kitchen. I just think it's missing something, that's all. But aside from this, once again, it is minor. I did enjoy the experience. And considering the first chapter's free, it's worth 10 or 15 minutes of your time if you're looking for a little bit of tension. It's fun in that regard. It worked well enough for me. I'm on the fence to play the others because this one doesn't have a lot of replay value and it isn't very long, and I'd want a little more from a horror game. But then again, I have been coming across games like this. I've been coming across single experience horror games lately, where it feels like the whole premise of the game is just to build you quickly to one specific moment. So maybe that's a genre I really didn't know existed before. Maybe it's a thing. Well, that's all I have today for Fears to Fathom for Windows or Steam. Thanks for stopping by for a look, and hope to catch you on another video.